Welcome everybody to the Super Joe Pardo Show. I'm Super Joe Pardo, and today we are doing part 2 of Business Coach Reacts. Wait for it. Love you, Graham. The Profit 1-800-CAR Cash. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, click on the thing. I think it's up in this corner here, the little card, and go watch part 1. Before we get started here, make sure to smash that like button for me for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this information into the hands of more entrepreneurs, more business owners, more entrepreneurs, more people who want to learn more about business. And with that said, now that you have hit that like button for me, please, let's get started.
I just want us to click. Right now, it's not clicking.
Yeah, we're not clicking because when I come in here, I'm just so focused on trying to make money.
Andrew, what are you thinking? I'll do anything to fix this business. I'm 100% committed to change. Is your brother committed to that? I can't answer that. Only he can.
Yeah, well, we talked about this in part 1 about communication, and when communication breaks down, people start creating their own conversations in their mind, and it's not good. And clearly, Andrew, it breaks my heart to see him feeling so disconnected from his brother, and it affecting him so much. Meanwhile, John, while he may feel the same way, doesn't know how to deal with it in a way that helps Andrew in the here and the now. So hopefully Marcus can help get that bond fused back together.
John doesn't seem willing to change, but what he doesn't realize is that if he doesn't change, this business is going to fail. So the deal that I have has me writing you a check. So I'm willing to give you guys $200,000. It allows you to solve the debt that you have. It allows you to put some cash in the business and bring things current. And it allows you a chance, in addition to that, to collect an annuity on the brand name and the website forever. $200,000.
So he wants to, if at the end they were talking about the idea of building a franchisable model, and then they could just collect their mailbox checks and mailbox money and all. And so at $200,000, okay, so that takes care of the problem that they have now. I mean, Marcus is coming in pretty aggressive here with just okay, I'm going to give you $200,000. Let's see what the rest of the
up front, and a licensing partnership going forward is a great deal for them. I mean, they're really going to benefit. I'm going to sign up licensees around the country, and they're going to get mailbox money, which means every time a new Car Cash opens, we'll all get a check without having to put up any money or do any work. So
yeah, I mean, it really comes down to the marketing at that point. They have the brand name, they have the workings of the company, and they just need to get the process right, get the customer experience right, and that's what Marcus is going to do here for them. I don't know that they realize what kind of a deal that they have on the table here. Let's see.
Catch to this whole deal. I want to be very clear. I'm in charge for the next week, so what I say goes, which means you're not in control.
That is a very tall order to have to deal with when you're saying hey, you've been the general manager, things are working. You're turning dollars, but you're not making money, and you're definitely getting closer and closer to having to shut the doors. And in the meantime, you're not going to be in charge. So hooray. That's a lot to ask of somebody, especially on a TV show.
At all.
I don't know if giving control, 100% control basically to somebody that, we just met and, how do we put it?
That's a legit concern, right? That, you're just meeting him, I guess in theory for the first time, depending how the show is filmed, and then within a few hours to okay, maybe it's the next day or something, but you're putting an offer on the table for the business and expecting that guy to give control up. It's a lot to ask. This is a lot.
I'm a control freak. It's hard to let go of that.
The business needs cash like
yesterday.
Like yesterday.
Obviously, it's going to take capital to change the complexion of the business. But we also need capital to buy cars. I don't know if $200,000 is going to be enough. So I would.
That seems a little. I don't want to say short-sighted, because what Marcus is trying to do is basically prove the concept, march entrepreneurs in, say, hey, look, this concept works, sign up with me. And obviously Marcus, while he wasn't super high profile when this episode came out, because this was the first episode of the show, he obviously is a very well-connected person. And as you watch through the years, he's very well connected in many, many industries. So, it's not like he isn't able to have people come right in.
So like to ask for a line of credit.
So how much is the line of credit you want?
Okay, let's say, can we start with 300,000?
What's the interest rate you're gonna pay me?
Is 5% fair?
No.
5%, like the 5% that you're making on every car that you sell? No, it's not okay.
No, really?
Really? It's 10. I need 10 because it's unsecured.
Well, it's unsecured, but you have to understand something. We're giving you an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars.
But I'm putting up all the money.
You're putting up all the money, but you're putting up the money based on the idea our dad created. And it's his vision and his blood, sweat, and tears that got us to this point and built the name brand that you're going to make millions of dollars on.
Good. Ding, 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 ding. Good for John, right? I think it takes a lot of gumption, a lot of integrity to stand up and be like, look, I know we're on TV. I know we're supposed to just get this check and, you're supposed to buy into the company and hopefully everything is going to work out and on all that. But, this is very real, right? And he makes it real to Marcus here by saying like, hey, I mean, his face isn't, his face ain't looking like he's like listening to like he's almost like a little unhappy there that he's getting some pushback about his 10%. But I think that John is doing a great job, ding 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 ding, on the idea that, hey, our dad built this. We have been in the business. We've built the concept. We did all the hard work, right? Out of the gate. Now, with that said, like, Marcus could probably take his own money and go put in some build a location somewhere that isn't cost $30,000 a month for rent, and take that and flip it to entrepreneurs. So like, it's not exactly that big of a concept, but the thing is what Marcus is offering here is the ability to cut the middleman out, right? He wants to cut out the wholesalers. If you haven't watched episode 1, go back to video 1, part 1, and he wants to cut them out and make way more profit on the cars that they're already buying, and hopefully selling. So he's going to be injecting a pretty hefty piece of process into the company.
For the sake of both of us, we need to do good business here. We need to make a lot of money here. We're your flagship. You need us to be the most successful franchise that you have. If we're not your most successful one, then nobody's going to buy in.
One of the things I like about John is that he's willing to push back. Right after I give him $200,000, he then comes back and asks for another $300,000 for working capital. I mean, I thought it was bold, but I like that about him.
Well, yeah, and it is bold, but he has a good reason for it. He's not just asking for more money. He's not poo-pooing the idea like, okay, you're gonna give me $200,000 and buy into the business and you get 50% of something that we're already split 50-50 on. So I don't think it's that bold because of what he's asking for. He's asking for money so that they can buy cars, so they can continue to operate, and make profit and hopefully make the money back that we're losing.
Shows me he has some fire in his belly. I'll split the baby with you at 8.
How about 7.5?
Okay, we got a deal.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that's yeah, and yeah, I think 10 was a bit much. If I I think 5 was definitely too low. 7.5 to 8 is good, because the fact of the matter is when he's buying these cars with that money, the goal is to sell those cars. And to sell them fairly quickly, right? It's not to like let them sit out on a lot and hope that you can turn this car, this used car into a profit when you get somebody that finally comes along to buy it. Like you're effectively a middleman, to these used car dealerships where they got to get cars. When you come in, you're not necessarily always trading in a car, so they're losing, stock, so they got to go and find cars to buy, et cetera, et cetera. So it's an opportunity there for everybody to have a win. And it's not totally secured, but the cars that they're paying for, like, the cars shouldn't be worth any less than what they have them now for, what they're buying them for. So, yeah, I could see 7.5% being fine. He could have went 5, but he didn't want to play nice. Didn't want to budge.
So when you take my check for the next week, I'm 100% in charge, which means what I say goes. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Now, for anybody who hasn't seen the show, like that's what every episode is like. Look, I'm gonna give you this check. Here, let me write out this big check here. Okay, and we're gonna hand you the check, and now I'm 100% in charge. While for the next week or next 2 weeks, or I'm gonna take 49% of the business, or I'm gonna take 50% of the business. Which most of the deals he's done is 50% of the business, but he's 100% in charge at least for 1 week.
You better buckle up.
Yeah.
Because change is coming. Once I make a deal, I don't waste any time. I'm going to turn this place upside down. Do we have a deal?
I'm in.
All right. Do we have a deal?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Let's get to work right away, okay?
Now this looks great on TV, right? Because you're like, I'm writing the check, and then like I'm handing the check. Now I've read that doesn't necessarily work that way. In some cases, like he'll hand the check, but it's like you can't cash it until the end of the week after you've proven to me that you're willing to let me make these changes to get us to be successful.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, I wanted to tell you what has happened. Very exciting news. John and Andrew and I have cut a deal where I'm now going to be part of Car Cash. I'm a big believer in 3 things: people, process, and product.
Now, I'd be lying if my whole team offer and process didn't come from Marcus's people. And I don't even know if he probably didn't even invent it, but or come up with it. But the team, the offer, the process, the top. What my TV show is called. And you can go watch that. I'll try to throw a card up here in it for it. And that to me is the 3 key areas that, like, improving your profit, improving your business, moving the rock towards the rock being the business, towards building it for your lifestyle rather than for your lifestyle for your business. So that it definitely resonates with me, because it is the 3 key areas.
I think we have the right people, but we need to make some improvements. Look, I didn't come here today to do one single business deal on West 55th Street. I came here because I think 1-800-CAR-CASH should be a national brand. We're going to add licensees around the country who are going to pay us a fee to license 1-800-CAR-CASH in an area that's relevant to them. In order for this business model to attract licensees, we're going to have to show them it's profitable. They're not just going to buy off on an idea. So one of the first things we need to do is make more money. We need to.
Yeah, well, right now, I mean, again, if you didn't watch the first episode, they're making about $500 per car, and they're putting out an average of like $8,000, $8,000 to $10,000 per car. So they're very much not making money when they're talking about a 5 to 6% profit on each car, and they're spending again $30,000 just to have the building, before lights, before people, before anything, and then they're spending about $10,000 or $5,000 to to 10,000 a week, so 20 to 40,000 a month just in marketing to get people into the door to sell for them to buy the cars.
Fix the appraisal process by bringing the customer into it so we can buy our cars for less. John, the wholesalers have to go.
Oh, see, now that's I think that's gonna be a sticking point, because in the first episode, it's like, hey, that's my friend Steven, he's my close friend. And again, in business, if he was that close of a friend, you would be having these conversations of like, hey, things are going really bad, and I gotta come up with a better way for us to make money, whether it's harder appraisals on the cars, or cutting you guys out on less of the deals. Again, having the wholesalers isn't a bad idea. It's a nice safety valve, but part of their problem is they have just way too much overhead being in New York City.
Importantly, we need to get rid of these wholesalers, because we need to make that extra money that they're making between here and there. That extra money could be $1,000 a car. If we can fix this business, then licensees are going to love it, and they'll sign up like it's going out of style. If we're going to be a national brand, we're going to need to look like a national brand. As part of building a prototype, I need to do an entire overhaul of the building, but not just the building. We also have to change the appearance, because appearance is one of the most important things in business. We need to make sure that we look as good as we sound. Let's go.
Yeah, so customer experience, customer ability to work on these deals and making people feel comfortable. We talked about the last video was about, there's all these BBB logos everywhere, like everywhere. In fact, there was one I missed when I was watching it with my wife Melissa after the fact. There's like a giant banner in the shop as well.
All right, let's go.
It goes away. It goes a long way in helping people feel comfortable and confident in it, but not necessarily. It just, I don't know. It feels like you're trying to like shove it in their face. The BBB, we're accredited business.
Come on, guys.
One of the things that I wanted to do before my team shows up tomorrow and starts gutting.
Oh, there was one right there. I don't know.
I wanted to do before my team shows up tomorrow and starts.
Oh, there's the big one right there. You can see it.
Gutting this place, because I wanted to get some ideas for what you'd like to see happen.
If we could freshen up maybe get a new awning, I would make everything consistent. I would love to redo the floor. Right now we have this sort of an epoxy paint. I would love to do the entire garage in epoxy paint, so that way it's easy to clean.
That's a terrible idea. The sound of it when you walk on it, it's gonna sound like corduroy pants swishing together. Absolutely not, man.
Yeah, so the epoxy paint thing, you need it, right? Like it does make it easier to clean. It makes it shinier. It makes it nicer looking. Yeah, there's the sound aspect to it, but there's ways to get around that, right? Like you could put up some sound panels or something to that effect, some foam panels like the one sitting behind me here, like to kind of absorb that sound so it's not creating an echo of like a gymnasium basketball court kind of thing going on.
Sometimes my brother will just like tune out what I'm saying, and it's extremely hurtful to me because I have valid ideas. These are ideas that would save the business. So this is our lovely bathroom. I believe there's a leak in the pipe here.
Look, I'd like to see John defend this as well, right? Like, but I know that, again, when you have a business that's starting to fail, everything gets in a place where, it's like, I don't have time for that. I'm trying to make money. And again, they've done $13 million for in the last year, but they lost $200,000 in that process. $200,000, man. And this is the result, is like things start to fall through the cracks and look not presentable, just like the office, like being like, oh, it's so inviting, it's so great. Like, no, it's not. Go to a deal. Let's go to a dealership, right? Go to like a nice dealership and just take a look at the inside of their showroom, right? Take a look at how their offices are set up, how their cubicles are set up, and how that, think about how that's changed over the years.
Seat is loose. I don't like being in here.
How do you think the customers feel?
I bet you don't.
I would not feel very comfortable if I was a customer. I just don't want to get into arguments with my brother.
Well, they say like at restaurants, right? Like you want to know if the kitchen is clean, go to the bathroom and take a look, and you'll see that how well they're keeping up on the cleaning. Speaking of that, we're going to be doing bar rescue episodes coming up here in the near future. So make sure you get subscribed, smash that subscribe button for me, and make sure you are ready to see those videos, because I absolutely am excited to be doing those episodes of bar rescue in the future.
Anymore. He doesn't want to spend the money to do anything internally because he's so focused. I understand he's focused on that thing. There's a lot of things I want to focus on.
Yeah, so again, it's like those little things. I remember my grandfather would come by and he'd be like, after he was somewhat retired, he'd come by and like point out all these little things that like no one's paying attention to because we're too busy trying to like keep all the plates spinning at once on the major projects, and it happens, right? But that's again why you need somebody that's going to, you don't need a maintenance person per se, but you need to either have a person that's going to look for that kind of little things that you can do that don't necessarily cost a ton of money. Or schedule it in your time so that like, hey, on this upcoming Thursday, I'm going to take 2 hours, like just walk around to see what's going on and listen, right? Like Walt Disney World Imagineers they'll have them go and ride the rides with other people in the parks, right? And just listen to the feedback, listen to what they're talking about, and like, and get ideas from them, right? Listen to what works, what doesn't work, and make changes based on that.
Andrew's an equal owner in this business, and it's time he stood up to his brother. He should be free to do his job, and he needs to demand it. John, do you ever listen to any of his ideas?
I listen to some of them.
But he's your brother, who owns half the business.
He's my brother and I love him, but I don't have time to listen to a lot of these ideas.
I'd like to hear some of his ideas. I mean, let's see what he has to say.
I want to start advertising with Zipcar and doing some cross-promotional advertising with them.
What's the next idea?
Well, okay, so that is actually a really great idea because when people come to drop their car, like they're selling you their car, now they got to figure out how to get home back somewhere in the city, so they either got to grab an Uber or Lyft or something like that. But if you could have like a cross promotion where you're like, hey, like you sell your car with us, we're going to give you a Zip car to drive back home and you can park it wherever the nearest Zipcar location is. Like, how great is that? That's a great opportunity for somebody to take one more reason to not go and do this thing. Like, if you're not hurting for the cash, but you're like, I don't really need the car and I'm just sitting on the car, it's an opportunity for somebody to say, oh, you took another excuse away from me. I think I am going to, move on that.
Oh, that's a valid idea.
That's a great feature to have after the sale, but doesn't generate people coming in here.
There's marketing, there's advertising, and part of advertising is the radio.
It's honestly, Drew, it's like this is like a broken record to me. I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm sorry.
Andrew's supposed to be in charge of marketing and advertising, and Car Cash spends between $20,000 and $50,000 a month. Most of that's spent on radio. Now, John won't let him control the radio, so really, in the end, Andrew's in charge of nothing.
Yeah, and that's why I said like, oh, social media, is really what marketing. So basically, his brother is like, it's too important for me to help teach you and take you along, right? And all the money that we're spending, yet it's not really what we're doing isn't really working, right? We're only bringing in 5 to 10 people. We have a prime location that just is costing us an abundance of money to be there in that location, and I think the other part of that is like, public transportation since the 70s has grown, right? Like more and more people take the subway, more and more people take the buses, more and more people take Uber or Lyft. So like their business in New York City has obviously has shrunken over the years, and they haven't adjusted to that, but their rent sure has. Is like being almost $30,000 in a month is insane. That's way too much. Way too much. So I always say, like, look, if you have a problem, if you're having a problem in your business, what start with like, what is everybody's responsibilities, and then draw clear cut lines, and then you can set yourself up so that you can hold each other accountable, right? Then the brother, John can go and sell more cars, work on, like warm leads that they happen to have. Somebody that maybe came in once or twice and was like, maybe I want to sell, maybe I don't, work on those kinds of things, while Andrew can go and do all of the marketing and be held accountable for what is happening. When we get in this mindset of like, we got to do everything, that's a recipe for failure, especially because his brother, neither of them are taking a paycheck. I can't stress, neither of them are taking a paycheck. So what are we talking about here? It's not like he's like, oh, I got to pay somebody else to learn the process and all that. Like, obviously Andrew has ideas. He's been around, he's done things. Give the dude some slack and let him try.
Here you tell him why radio is the right thing for you. Boom, hit the spot.
Radio is really, really important. It's a way for us to connect with our customers. We need to learn how to communicate with them.
Okay, I did all that though, and I got us killer deals doing it. What are you gonna do differently?
The creative.
Okay, basically you want to rest the single biggest cash bringing option that we have. You want me to rest that in your hands. You want to write the copy. You want to handle the media buying when you've never done it before.
Yep.
Are you out of your mind? It's a f***ing waste of time.
Look, John.
Wow. That's not cool. Not cool, John. I part of the reason he's acting like this is probably in large because of the fact that they have lost so much money, right? And they're not doing the business that they thought they should be, so or know that they can be. So the stress level just bubbles up and comes on out, and it's just like, no, I already did this. It's all right. It's worked for years, and there's nothing we could do that's better other than keep spending money and getting 5 to 10 customers a day. That, while great, we're closing 80% of them. We're still not making money, and we're gonna lose it all.
I don't like the way you talk to your brother. You probably are
Boom. Ding, 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 ding.
one of the better car guys I've ever seen. But you are one of the worst managers of people that I've ever seen. And maybe there's excuses and there's reasons and there's all these other things. But I think one of the things that I have to get convinced of is that you can actually manage people. I'm not convinced you can.
Womp womp. Play the horn, sad trombone there. So, he does not understand that, yes, there's a lot of stress. And again, it's a boulder that's falling on your back when things are not going right. And you're doing everything you possibly can to make it go right. But people are still people, right? I always say, like, businesses are like robots. They have big, they're big and they're mechanical and they want to run 24/7, 365, but they're filled with gooey insides. Those gooey insides are people, and those people have outside influences and issues and problems, and they're, their own, like, microcosms of things that they're working through, right? So you have to understand that, like, not everything's going to be perfect, and not everyone's trying to get one over on you either.
Coming up.
So, all right, so we're going to wrap this episode up here of part 2 of the 1-800-CAR-CASH episode from The Profit. If you've enjoyed this episode of Business Coach Reacts from the Super Joe Pardo Show, smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button for me, and I will have the next episode up. It'll probably be coming up here in a second. And if you want to learn how to start your own podcast, your own content creation, go to Pt.2.com. I have a whole, like, tons of courses and videos, and there's the whole thing over there. Go check out Pt.2.com. I'm Super Joe Pardo, and I will see you all in the next Business Coach Reacts video. Take care, everybody.